I mean, I don't know if Cameroon can survive this, Rufai. Paul Biya is Africa's oldest leader and one of the world's longest-serving rulers. He has been in power for 43 years. At least 4 people have been killed in recent clashes with security forces. International observers have expressed deep concern about the recent violent repression of protests and called on authorities to tackle the excessive use of force. Biya, however, faces a weakened mandate as analysts warn the post-election standoff could intensify, raising concerns about stability in the oil and cocoa-producing nation. We've seen protests like this, especially only recently in Nepal. They are burning buildings, 4 people have died. Can Cameroon survive this, Rufai?
So about up till 1 a.m. this morning, I was up on Cameroonian TV, Equinox TV. Yeah. And yes, there's been a lot of burnings, but police are already on the street, cracking down on people high-handedly. I mean, I got sent a message from that 15 people, again, just overnight into this morning, passed as a result of this. Very sad. Most of the cities, you know, from Douala to Yaoundé to other parts of the country, everywhere, you know, on tenterhooks, even up to, you know, the northern region, Garoua and all of that. Unfortunately. I think the parliament, I think there's a process where the parliament actually swears him, so he has actually taken the oath of office to be able to start. But today, Oje, I'd like to name and shame President Nguema of Gabon that has gone ahead to send a congratulatory message to Biya. You see, as long as we have African leaders that congratulate sham elections like this, Africa will never move forward. But how are you going to even blame Bryce Nguema himself when he came in via a coup himself? So the killings are going on in Cameroon. EU has written extensively about it. All the international bodies have written extensively about it. The truth is, Oji, people will just get killed and Biya will consolidate. At this point, it is a sorry state for the Cameroonian people. Lots of places have been burnt across the country. But is this how Cameroon will continue? Is this how Ivory Coast will continue? Look at the Ivorian case. Those ones, because they've been suppressed so much and because they've lied to the Ivorians because of the civil war that happened after the former elections, that you must not come out to protest. So they've suppressed people.
No, this is unfortunate.
And that's what is happening in Africa. So we've gone 10 steps forward and 15 steps backward.
Unfortunate. Dr.
Well,
Abati.
the irony of it and the painful part of it is how democracy is in retreat in Africa. From Niger to Chad to Mali to Gabon to Guinea-Conakry to, you know, Cote d'Ivoire, Uganda, and now Cameroon. The unfortunate part of it also is that the same Paul Biya is the oldest head of state in the world. He has been president in Cameroon since 1982. He is not even in the country. He's somewhere in Geneva, Intercontinental Hotel, ensconced there. He came to campaign only once.
Only once,
So it is the ordinary people who always suffer when their leaders disappoint them. Yesterday I asked a question, what next for Cameroon?
Yes.
Most of the people in Cameroon, they don't know any other leader. It's only Biya that they have known their entire lives. Now, whether he likes it or not, when his reign of terror ends, what will happen to Cameroon? What next? Finally, Chiroma Bakari, the leader of the opposition and the United Front for Change, now the Interior Minister of Cameroon is saying that he may be taken to court and that he will have to face legal consequences because it is he and his accomplices who are causing what he calls an insurrection in Cameroon. So the next thing you are likely to have is not just the suppression, because Nji, Paul Atanga Nji, that's his name, is saying that they have put down the insurrection, but that Bakari Chiroma will have to answer for this because he's the one who has incited the people. At the end of the day, it is the people who always hold the short end of the stick. We have heard from AU, from the UN, and from the EU, all calling for caution. ECOWAS is yet to speak up.
This is what I'm talking
And
about.
I have
This is all
said
I've been
that
talking about.
Nigeria must not
African
congratulate
leaders have to speak up.
Paul Biya,
You have to
and that
speak
President
against this.
Tinubu must not attend the inauguration.
Absolutely. I agree with you
I hope
101%.
I hope somebody is listening.
Yes.
They should listen
So
to-
please,
Because
Africa has to
President
stand up
Tinubu,
against this. because this
if
is
you
not-
attend Paul Biya's
Yes.
inauguration, we'll come and we'll condemn you here. Because enough of all of this in
Yes.
Africa.
Don't threaten the president
No,
of
if he
Nigeria.
does, we'll condemn him. Let's call it
Don't
spade a spade.
express your
hard
opinion.
stance
Don't threaten
against
him.
the coups in
he
the
does-
countries.
no, who condemn
They took
him?
a hard stance. Remember how it was controversial when they said they were going to even launch military, force. If they can speak against coups like that, democratic coups like this must also be hugely condemned by all West African countries.
Yes.
So it's not just for coups through military action. Even democratic coups like this, where lives are lost in the process, ought to be condemned. Until
said.
Africa is Africa's solution to
This
Africa's
is it.
problems.
Africa
Until African
is
leaders are
Africa's
ready for
solution.
true democracy
Yes.
and stand up to speak against and even
Yes.
sanction countries like this, we're not going anywhere. So
Imagine
like you rightly said,
if
wasn't
he were to
support
stay in
that.
power. Guess how old he will be?
100.
99. By the time he's done,
99.
99. Who wants a leader that is
failing.
99?
Imagine.
Africans have to speak up. They have to speak against this. Well, here in Nigeria, reactions have trailed the United States government's decision to revoke the non-immigrant visa of Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka. The decision was contained in a letter dated October 23rd and signed by the U.S. Consulate General in Lagos. Soyinka spoke during a media party on Tuesday, where he read excerpts of the official correspondence. Let's take a listen before we take some reactions, if we can.
When I received a letter asking me to bring back my passport because certain facts may have come up since the visa was issued. And I was given a date to report at the consulate with my passport. I declined the invitation. First of all, I didn't like the date. Everybody knows what happened on that date, November 11, many years ago. So it was rather unfortunate that they picked that date. And I said, sorry, I'm superstitious. I'm not coming on that date. And then ultimately, I made it clear I was also not going to apply for another date to bring in my passport. So he sighed and said he was very sorry, but that meant that my visa would be revoked. I said, by all means, I'd be willing to receive the letter of revocation. And I assured him that both he and his staff are given permanent visa waiver anytime they want to visit the Autonomous Republic of Ijegba, situated in Abeokuta. That there will be no reciprocal conduct from my principality. So I began to cast what have I done in recent times? And I remembered that I referred to him as the white version of Idi Amin. Now, dictators are very difficult to please. I would have thought that he was pleased. I mean, Idi Amin was a man of international stature, a statesman, a first-class Democrat, He was also, he called himself the King of Scotland. He called himself a liberator. He said, in fact, he was going to liberate Scotland from the grip of the British. In other words, we should look at Idi Amin as along the line of historic liberators. He was liberating everybody everywhere. Some of them, he even liberated their lives from them, and sent them to places of no return. So when I called Donald Trump Idi Amin, I thought I was paying him a compliment. But maybe I've also written plays about Idi Amin. Maybe it's about time also write a play about Donald Trump. When he hears that I'm paying him the same literary compliment as I paid Idi Amin, maybe we'll reconsider and return my visa. Otherwise, I want to assure the consulate and the Americans here that I am very content with the revocation of my visa.
All right, there he says he is very content with the revocation of his visa. I mean, a lot of Nigerians went because, I mean, I don't think that they had the full context of the story. Professor Wole Soyinka has said that he was the one who refused to go for his visa appointment, and he is fine with not having an American visa. When he, tore his visa back in 2016, his green card back in 2016 when Donald Trump became president, he did it with his full chest. I mean, it's not like he's wanting to go. And the reason why he applied for a visa, like he said, for our viewers, was because he had, a tax issue. A tax issue. And he didn't want to be a tax evader. So that's why he applied for a visa, to go sort out the tax issues in America. Yeah. So he's perfectly fine. And he's even invited the people that revoked his visa to come to Abeokuta. He will give them free entry.
Yeah. I thought his response was very gracious and very, of course, he's a man full of wisdom. So he knew how to diplomatically respond to this update. However, whilst we, on the lighter side of things, say that he's over 90, he loves Nigeria, he's proud of Nigeria, he loves Abeokuta, he's invited them to come, he wants to rest. In fact, some of these travels could be burdensome on him at this time. And he's often talked about how he's not crazy about traveling to the US. It doesn't hold that much of an appeal for him, but he goes there to honor invitations and, like you mentioned, some of the issues around his taxes. However, I just want to say this. Professor Wole Soyinka is an icon. He's not just an icon in Nigeria. He's become a citizen of the world. And I think it's quite unfortunate that the US has decided to take this decision. And I hope that the Nigerian government can intervene in this particular matter, because for his contribution, not just to Nigerian literature, even to the world, his books and his works are read and referred to internationally in Nigeria, in America, in the United Kingdom, all over the world. So this kind of uptake or this kind of positioning doesn't look good at all. And if, according to what he said, is as a result of what he said about the current president, I think that's most unfortunate, because we cannot have leaders who are intolerant to dissent or to expressions of how people feel, which America historically has been quite receptive to. And so I'm hoping that there can be a rethink, a reversal, because he's not just a pride to Nigeria and Africa, he's a pride to on international global scene. And I love that he has said no hard feelings. He's happy with this. He doesn't want to jack back. He doesn't need visa to move. He's happy to be in Nigeria, and other countries around the world will be more than happy to welcome him to their shores.
All right, Dr. Abati.
Just a quick footnote. It was Professor Wole Soyinka who wrote that the man dies in all who keeps silent in the face of tyranny. And he has always lived up to that creed, always speaking up against tyranny in any part of the world. And I'm excited by the fact that he says, in fact, we may benefit in the literary field from this experience. He says, Idi Amin in whiteface, and that he may write a play on Donald Trump. That would be another major contribution to his oeuvre. After all, he wrote a play of giants in 1984. In a play of giants, he was talking about General Kamini, which is Idi Amin. He talked about Emperor Casco. Emperor Casco is Bokassa, Nguema Bokassa. He talked about, who else is there? General Turabum, which is...
Even Kongi's harvest, you talked about generals.
Yes, General Terabum. About giants, about these people who abuse power. And also Gunema, which was referring to Nguema. So it would be nice to see a satire on Donald Trump coming from the stable of Professor Wole Soyinka, Nobel laureate, global citizen, international icon.
I'm sure. I'm sure that it will be fixed. I mean, there was just an issue with the visa.
One woman came on this program. He said, "No man can intimidate me."
Yes.
Professor Soyinka too say, "No man or woman can intimidate me."
You will benefit from me coming to your country.
I disagree with him. He's a legend. He's a legend and he's a global citizen.
And we need to learn more from Professor Wole Soyinka. Soyinka. I hope he lives another decade and more.
Yeah.
100. He's 91 now, isn't
Yes,
he?
he
Yes?
is, yeah.
All right, fantastic. Well, all right, speaking about Dr. Abati, we have to move. Just 30 seconds. We have so many stories. We have to go
she
now.
says she's not done yet.
Yes.
She's likely to run again. She's been granting a series of interviews with Chimamanda, with Sarah Ferguson, and, you know, she says she will run. And we would like to see her run, particularly now that Trump and his supporters are toying with the idea of a third term in America for Donald Trump.
Yes.
I don't know whether Trump is going to change the American Constitution.
Well,
so
that's
we
what
need more
dictators
people
do, they say.
coming up and saying
just
they will
call
run.
Trump a dictator.
Now,
I
as
didn't.
for Trump and Professor Wole Soyinka, whether Trump likes it or not,
right,
Professor Soyinka is a Nobel laureate.
Yes.
He has the Nobel. Something he's still looking for.
What can I just say? This is the revocation. It can be overturned, I'm sure.
Yes,
Things
as I
will be
said,
done.
I hope
Yeah,
they will see
everybody just
better.
relax. Farabale.
That's a
Well,
good shit.
before we move to our next story, let's highlight this. Our pictures of the day from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, where the Director General of the World Trade Organization, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, along with other prominent Nigerians, are attending the Future Investment Initiative Conference, a meeting where business leaders, policymakers, entrepreneurs, and more get together to discuss international investment and the global economy. Okonjo-Iweala posted photos of prominent Nigerians she met, including the chairperson of UBA Group, Tony Elumelu, Africa's richest man, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, with the Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, Senator John Owen Eno, and more, with the caption, "Very happy to see the Nigerian contingent in Riyadh. Up Nigeria, no, they carry last.
Yeah.
Up Nigeria. I mean, isn't it beautiful to see our Nigerian contingent there in Riyadh? Arise News is also in Riyadh, live with our correspondents, bringing you updates. Well, another picture of the day is that of the chairman and editor-in-chief of This Day and Arise Media Group, Prince Nduka Obaigbena, with the executive secretary and CEO of the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission, Aisha Rimi, and Nigerian-American billionaire, the chairman of Global Infrastructure Partners, Adebayo Ogunlesi. Arise and conquer. You know, we are always there. Ogunlesi is one of the richest African men in the world. He's worth about $2.5 billion, apparently, by Forbes. Forbes rated him there. And he was recently in Nigeria to meet with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he actually did say that he's, you know, coming to invest here in Nigeria.
And he's even closer to us. Yeah, you know, he's our own Matthew. Yeah,
are you bringing up? He's from
Shagamu. So our Matthew here is related to him. So he's our own brother.
Let me just say that Arise has done a fantastic coverage. We have Rotus Odiri, Georgina Ezianyinka, and Zimbai Mutiniri Ekpenyong covering. They've been, you know, covering live, and also some important interviews have been done with the world DG of the World Trade Organization, Alhaji Aliko Dangote. The full interviews on YouTube, so people can catch up and really see. But I think technology is at the core of the conversation today. And Dr. Abati was asking a question when we were showing the robots earlier today, that when will it be Nigeria's turn? When we will bring this kind of innovation and technology? So I'm hoping that it's not just a talk shop, but we see the quality of Nigerians who are there. We're looking forward to bringing the knowledge back home and seeing how Nigeria can also be a global player when it comes to technology and AI. And always great to see, you know, Prince Nduka out there, you know, leading the charge from Arise News.
Going with our whole team. Arise and conquer. Always. We are always leading, really leading. Congratulations to all the Niger people out there in Saudi Arabia making us proud. Let's take this story now from Imo State, where a dramatic video from the Federal University of Technology in Owerri featured the moment a lecturer destroyed an architecture student's project during class. In the video, the lecturer could be heard accusing the student of being incapable of creating such an exceptional work while destroying the project with a cane, as the student watched helplessly, sparking widespread outrage online. Let's take a look. This was so sad to watch, Ayo. Well, according to the student in the video, it's the third time this semester that this lecturer has destroyed his work. The video has garnered over 1.5 million views on X alone, sparking conversations around some lecturers' conduct in the country, and I'll take some reactions. This person wrote, "This is heartbreaking and totally unacceptable. That lecturer must be questioned, not just for destroying a student's project, but for abusing his authority and killing innovation. Every student deserves the right to defend their work, especially when it's exceptional. We can't keep silencing brilliance simply because it challenges mediocrity." Another ex-user wrote, and this is quite, the comment. They said, "This isn't about stifling creativity. It's about academic integrity. If the lecturer suspects outsourcing, destroying the model might be extreme, but necessary to deter dishonesty. Instead of blaming the lecturer, we should question why such suspicion arises. Is it the lecturer's fault or a systemic issue where students prioritize shortcuts over genuine effort? This could be a wake-up call for a culture that values appearances over hard work." And we should also consider that ex-user's comment as well. My producer has reached out to the school. We're yet to get an official statement.
Good. And I hope that an investigation will be done. But nevertheless, irrespective of whether or not the second claim, holds water, it's the manner in which the man address the issue in such a way that it could actually defeat the student's self-esteem.
Absolutely.
You can correct a child or a student, maybe not a child, a young adult, in a way that they don't feel defeated or they don't feel like they cannot do any other thing again. This throws more light on how we must go back to teacher training and actually understanding the code of conduct for lecturers in school. It's on the same table we've celebrated lecturers that students have bought presents for and just celebrated, but also we see that a lecturer, a teacher has the potential to create, to shape the destiny of a child, to shape the future of a child. But when you address it in this manner, no matter how wrong or right the student might have been, it does not all go well. And I hope that schools and lecturers will do better. A lot of people know the experiences they had with lecturers in school, how it made them more fearful. Nigerians are intimidated. Some students are intimidated. They are fearful. You don't want to even think or create new ideas because it might be shut down or you might be publicly embarrassed. This is the consequence of actions like this. So lecturers should do better. Let us retrain again so that we're able to really nurture dreams and nurture futures.
See, in university, I've heard and I know of experience where the lecturer will come to class. Is to teach you to make you better. He will tell you A is for God, B is for me, C is for very bright students.
Oh, come on.
Can you imagine? So why is he teaching you?
The technical word is plagiarism. In academic processes, plagiarism is considered a crime. But even when it is established, I agree that a lecturer should not be sadistic, should not be violent. So the authorities of the university should investigate what happened. And that's why in some universities, lecturers are rated. They give forms to the students. You assess your teacher so that, teachers also will know that while they are imparting knowledge, they should also do so in a humane manner. But what do you expect from a country where government too doesn't wear a human face?
That is the point.
And then lecturers too have become, some close.
So many dimensions to this story. So many dimensions to this story. But we'll follow up on it as always. Let's now highlight a video movement in Ekiti State following the official confirmation of Governor Biodun Oyebanji as the All Progressives Congress gubernatorial candidate for the 2026 election on Monday. Well, the video captures the scene after the reception where Governor Oyebanji and prominent APC members, including Edo State Governor Monday Okpebolo and Kogi State Governor Usman Ododo, posed for photos outside the event when a voice from the crowd is heard hailing Governor Okpebolo, calling him the trusted son of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the light of Edo, and the king of the South-South region. Let's take a look.
The governor of Edo State, that is the first son of Atako. So, Atako rescue, the trusted son of...
This man for Governor Okpebolo. What's going on? What kind of strategy is this?
I was late in Benin. And Benin City was a very interesting place.
Yes.
Hardworking people and all that.
Yeah.
It's shocking that they are now breeding cross-border area boys in Edo State. But this must be a very recent development. And it's a very sad development that Edo boys will go from Edo to Ekiti just to go and follow the tradition and emerging tradition of sycophancy that seems to be abroad in Edo State. It may be entertaining, but it's very unfortunate.
Yes,
it's really very unfortunate. And it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't
because,
be.
He's the governor of the state. And when we're...
Let the people, Oji, let the people sing his praises.
He says this person.
If Okpebolo is first son of Tinubu, what of Sheyi? What of someone?
Wait, Oji, is it not in this country government officials now carry their children for conferences and they are defending them?
No.
The country is already the country is already gone. It's already gone.
Wike did it with that singer that goes along with him when he's giving speeches, and we interrupt the speeches with spice of songs.
Yes.
Now Okpebolo has taken the Edo version. Yeah. But what I'm asking for is that can the governors work in such a way that the people from their heart will genuinely sing their praises? Let them do the work. That's all.
This same governor that they are saying is the first son of Tinubu and everything.
Is that an achievement?
He has one of the biggest cabinets in Edo history.
All right.
In fact, the commissioner was just defending the other day. Large cabinet, bloated cabinet. About 30. Right. Bloated. So you can see.
Governor Monday
there are many bad routes. Aisha, they couldn't ensure that they brought Aisha back. Yes. They paid ransom and they are hailing names.
All right. Governor Monday Okpebolo, always in the news for these special stories. Let's now turn to the